Hey, thinking about going to Madrid? Awesome! Because in this video, I'm going to show you the best of the city. No complications. What to see, eat, visit, and do to make the most of your trip. And if you've already been, you'll probably discover something new. This is the next destinations. All right, here we go. Iconic places. Let's start at the center of Madrid, Puerta del Sol. It's always full of life. You'll see street performers, people protesting, retirees feeding pigeons, and tourists taking pictures with the bear and the strawberry tree statue. Right here on the ground is Kilometer Zero, the point from which all Spanish roads are measured. From there, you can walk a few minutes to Plaza Mayor. It's a big square surrounded by old buildings, with arcades and terraces, where having a vermouth with an olive is the typical thing to do. This place has seen everything, from markets to coronations to public executions. Now it's where people come to relax and enjoy the atmosphere. Just a bit farther, you'll find the Royal Palace. It's huge, over 3,400 rooms, actually more than Buckingham Palace. Even if you don't go inside, it's worth checking out the Sabatini Gardens next door, especially at sunset. The views are great, and it's a peaceful spot in the middle of the city. Nearby is something unexpected. The Temple of Debod, an actual Egyptian temple right in Madrid. It was a gift from Egypt in the 1960s and rebuilt here stone by stone. It's one of the best places to watch the sunset. And locals come here to hang out, take photos, or just relax. From there, head to Gran Via, Madrid's most famous avenue. It's full of shops, theaters, musicals, and historic buildings. It feels busy all the time. Tourists, people going to work, others just out for a walk. The energy here is non-stop. And finally, you reach Plaza de Cibeles. It's a major landmark, with the famous fountain of the goddess Cybele in her chariot. This is where Real Madrid fans celebrate their wins, and where you get that classic view of Madrid with the Cibeles Palace in the background. Perfect for photos, especially at sunset. Art and culture. Madrid is like an open-air museum. If you start at the Prado, you'll find Velázquez waiting with Las Meninas and Goya showing you his darkest side in the black paintings. Just a few minutes away, the Reina Sofia keeps something powerful, Guernica by Picasso. You don't just look at it, you feel it. And right in between, the Thyssen-Bornemisza is like flipping through a European art history book, from Renaissance masters to modern pop art. But in Madrid, art isn't just in museums. Walk through Malasaña and you'll see walls covered in graffiti that look like they belong in a gallery. And if you stop by Tabacalera, an old tobacco factory now turned cultural space, you'll find street art everywhere. Huge murals, bold colors, and messages that make you stop and think. If you're more into live shows, head to the Royal Theatre. Even the floor has a story, literally. Back in 1850, it had Europe's first red velvet curtain. Since then, it's hosted operas that made royalty cry. And today, the magic is still there. The seats may have changed, but the applause hits just as hard. Gastronomy. Hungry? In Madrid, food isn't just food. It's part of the experience. A good place to start is Mercado de San Miguel. It's lively, full of people, and packed with tapas that look almost too good to eat. You'll find everything from truffled eggs to oysters and grilled octopus. Grab a cold glass of wine and try the cod croquettes at La Casa del Bacalao. They're smooth, hot, and seriously addictive. If you're into history, book a table at Sobrino de Botín. It's been open since 1725, which makes it the oldest restaurant in the world. They're known for roast suckling pig straight from a wood-fired oven. It's not just about the food. Hemingway used to hang out here, and Goya worked in the kitchen when he was young and broke. And no trip to Madrid is complete without churros and chocolate. Head to San Ginés, a local favorite that's open 24/7. Whether it's after dinner or after a night out, there's always a line, and it's always worth the wait. The chocolate is thick, the churros are crispy, and together they hit the spot. Want something traditional? Go to La Bola and order the cocido madrileño. It's a big filling stew with chickpeas, vegetables, and meat, perfect on a cold day. Or stop by Casa Lucio for their famous broken eggs. Simple, comforting, and full of flavor. Parks and nature. Need a breather? Head to El Retiro. Rent a rowboat, relax by the Alfonso de Flauz monument, or find the ancient Ahuehuete tree. It's seen centuries pass. The Crystal Palace is nearby, tucked among trees, and always has cool art inside. Want more nature? Casa de Campo is huge, perfect for biking or spotting deer if you go deep enough. And if you visit in autumn, don't miss El Capricho Park. Golden trees, hedge mazes, and a hidden Civil War bunker give it a mysterious vibe. Shopping and markets. To take a piece of Madrid with you, El Rastro is a unique experience. Every Sunday, the streets of Lavapiés become a maze of stalls. Vintage furniture, 80s vinyls, antique cameras, comics, relics that tell stories. Haggle with a smile, and when you're tired, head down to La Latina and order a Tinto de Verano with a tortilla skewer on some sunny terrace. Life moves slower there. If independent design and alternative vibes are your thing, the Mercado de Motores is your spot. In an old train station, sustainable fashion, local art, craft beers, and live music mix among vintage carriages and exotic plants. Sometimes jazz plays, other times rock, but there's always soul. And for those who love elegance, the Salamanca neighborhood is paradise. On the Golden Mile, Serrano Street shines with shop windows that don't display clothes, but works of art. Loa, Prada, Balenciaga, Cartier. Here, luxury is quiet and sophisticated. Every display window is a story of tradition, soft leather, and diamonds with a surname. Nightlife. Madrid transforms completely at night. The city has neighborhoods where nightlife is very active, and there are options for every taste. Malasaña is one of the most well-known. In the 80s, it was the center of the punk movement and still retains that alternative spirit. Chueca is a neighborhood closely linked to the LGBTQ+ community, and in the 90s, it became one of the most open and lively centers. There you can visit Museo Chicote, a historic bar where Hemingway used to drink and which today remains famous for its cocktails. La Latina is ideal for starting the night with tapas. On Cava Baja Street, there are over 50 bars concentrated in a few meters. It's common to start the night with a vermouth, some croquettes, or a ham board before moving on to drinks. Unique events and festivals. Madrid has celebrations all year round, each with its own atmosphere. In May, San Isidro, the city's patron saint, is celebrated. It's one of the most traditional festivals. People dress as chulapos, there are open-air concerts, food stalls, and the famous rosquillas listas and tontas, the typical sweets of this time of year. In June, Pride turns Madrid into one of Europe's most colorful capitals. The Chueca neighborhood fills with parades, live music stages, activities for all ages, and a very inclusive atmosphere. In September, La Noche en Blanco arrives. That night, many museums, cultural spaces, and galleries stay open late, and there are street performances. Even the metro runs all night, so no one misses out. And if you visit Madrid in December, the Christmas lights are the stars. On Gran Via, the buildings light up with stunning decorations. In Plaza Mayor, a Christmas market is set up with ornament stalls, typical food, and often even an ice rink. Day trips. If you have 1 or 2 extra days in Madrid, there are some amazing getaways nearby. Toledo is perfect for history lovers. Its medieval streets, the Synagogue of El Tránsito, the famous Marzipan, and the Monastery of San Juan de los Reyes will transport you back in time. Segovia is equally impressive, with its Roman aqueduct, the crispy suckling pig at Jose Maria or Mesón de Cándido, and the fairy tale-like Alcazar. Nearby, you'll find La Granja de San Ildefonso with its royal gardens. Avila stands out for its medieval wall, one of the best preserved in Europe, while Cuenca will surprise you with its hanging houses and the Spanish Abstract Art Museum inside one of them. If you prefer nature, head to the Sierra de Guadarrama for hiking trails like Siete Picos or the Camino Schmid, starting from the village of Cercedilla. For a more peaceful escape, Aranjuez offers a royal palace, spacious gardens, and even rowboat rides along the Tagus River. Wine and food lovers will enjoy Chinchón and San Lorenzo de El Escorial, both home to charming wineries, traditional cuisine, and a laid-back vibe. And if you're up for a bit more distance, the Ribera del Duero region, with towns like Peñafiel or Aranda de Duero, is a wine lover's paradise, full of historic wineries, tastings, and mouth-watering roast lamb dishes. Lastly, Consuegra welcomes you with its iconic windmills perched atop Cerro Calderico and a medieval castle overlooking the vast Manchegan landscape that once inspired Don Quixote. Unique experiences in Madrid. At the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, you can take the full Bernabeu tour and explore the Real Madrid Museum, locker rooms, trophy room, and exclusive areas before experiencing the thrill of a live match. On the other side of town, the Riyadh Air Metropolitano Stadium is where Atletico de Madrid plays, with just as much passion and energy in the air. If you head to Gran Via, world-class musicals await, especially The Lion King, which has been running at the Lope de Vega Theater since 2011, with over 4,500 performances and 6 million spectators. Looking for something more traditional? Some of the best flamenco venues in the world are here, like Corral de la Moreria, which pairs live performances with a Michelin-starred culinary experience, featuring only 4 exclusive tables under the direction of chef David Garcia. Another great option is Torres Bermejas, where the Guajira menu enhances the flamenco performance in a setting inspired by the Alhambra. So, what about you? Have you already been to Madrid, or are you planning your very first visit? Which place was your favorite, or which one are you dying to see? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to subscribe and keep exploring the world with me. There are many more destinations waiting. See you in the next destination.